A couple hundred years ago, the only thing you had to worry about was a hangover.
You telling me you're an investigator?
More or less.
Today, because of your curse thingy, you can't sleep with anyone.
We're not a team. I'm your boss.
Or else you might feel a moment of true happiness,
You got a real addiction to the brooding part of life.
lose your soul,
Except for the bulk of it, where I was nearly tortured to death.
become evil again,
You're a demon hunter.
Road demon hunt.
and kill everyone.
It's fucking
I
fantastic.
love that sound.
Thanks, Cornelia. I always appreciate your perspective.
Hello.
Morning. Edgar says hi too.
Good morning to you, Edgar. Welcome to Ale with Angel. I'm Rex.
I'm Josh.
And today we are reviewing Season 2, Episode 14, The Thin Deadline.
Of Angel, specifically.
Yes. Did I not say that?
No, I don't think you did. That's okay. I said it for you.
Okay, that works.
Here we are,
Yeah.
reviewing
Here we are.
Angel. Again. How do you feel about that, Rex?
I think we'll cover that at the end of the episode.
Okay. That bodes well. All of the energy going right into the positivity this
Yes.
episode, you guys. It's going to be great.
Sure.
What could possibly go wrong?
I got lots of positivity this episode. Sure. That's totally a thing that I'm in possession of.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's why I said it, Rex.
Well, do you want to do our list of executive doodle-doos?
I'd love to give you a list of executive doodle-doos. I thought you'd never ask. Because I happen to have in front of me this list of executive doodle-doos, or Patreon subscribers. How they got that name, I can't figure out anymore. But they are D. Sheringhausen, Taylor Jordan Guy, Cubby Seal, Mr. Tabalicious, Sandra Craig, Jay Sommer, Christina, Catherine Parkinson, Karen Moon, Chris V-Man, Pat Likes Turtles, still, Scarlett Choi, Janella Lindauer, Cat Naming Service Heaps, Andy Burgess, K. Frenome, Father de Fenestrato, Matthew and DeBurr, Kelly MC, Jesse Rain, and Carrie Phillips.
Thank you so much. Without you, this show literally is not possible.
Goddamn right, please don't go anywhere. Because everything would not be fine. I mean, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
I just realized, like, because you made a Jim Carrey quote, and it made me remember something
I
that
didn't even do it on purpose.
I know, but it made me remember something that I wanted to share with you that I don't know if you've heard.
I may not have.
He's retiring.
Oh, I did hear that.
And his last movie ever will be supposedly Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
He's still doing the sequel?
No, he did it.
He did it already.
It already came out.
Oh my god. Oh, wow. That's a way to end a career right there, definitely. Why? God, why?
Edgar, those
First
are my
one
notes.
was so bad.
I'm going to need those.
Well, while Rex is having technical cat difficulties over here, I'm going to tell him to stop it, because he's got a fucking review to read.
I do have a review to read from one of our patrons, Taylor Jordan Guy. She reviewed us on Audible. Apparently, you can review us on Audible.
Yeah.
So, you know.
iTunes doesn't own everything. They just try to, but I say fuck them.
I don't actually know where to go to find the reviews on Audible. But, you know.
Just start clicking buttons, whatever.
Right?
I've never been on Audible, so I wouldn't know.
But we got a 5-star review from Taylor here on Audible titled Way Better Than You Think and No Bunnies, 10 out of 10.
But it must be bunnies.
I mean, yeah. There's got to be bunnies,
Bunnies.
unfortunately.
It must be bunnies.
Anyway, Taylor goes on to say, all right, this is my now 6th time trying to post my review, and honestly, my dumbass might be impatient, and my reviews are in review, and they have a bunch of dumb reviews saying similar things. Well, as far as I know, this is the only review we have, but hey, if maybe all your reviews are in, maybe we have a bunch of reviews on Audible now.
Yeah, who knows?
That would be awesome. Anyway, she says, alrighty, so I just got caught up after binge listening and even putting in an all-nighter because I was just hooked. Buffy is not just a show to me, it is my security blanket. Growing up, I was diagnosed with a few mental personality and emotional disorders. I've been there. I got those too. That caused me to be a bit weird and a bit of a strange outcast. Buffy was my go-to safe place, and I mean, I've only seen every episode of the show maybe 26 times and gotten to witness all the episodes when they originally aired. But I'm not here to review Buffy. I'm here for the deserving Josh and Rex. Not only do they tickle and stimulate that area of my brain reserved for the dark, twisted, perverted comedy spot, but it edges and finishes me off with the Buffy the Vampire Slayer content.
Wow, it edges.
Yes.
Damn.
My God, do I love these two together. I don't want to get too sappy and say this podcast saved me from one of my darkest moments the last couple of years, but man, it just hit so many great things. It has me laughing, it has me thinking and realizing different perspectives, and it has me yelling at my phone like they can hear me at how wrong their perspectives are sometimes.
We can.
Yes, we can. We can hear you right through the phone. It gets loud sometimes when too many fans listen to us at once.
Mm-hmm. It's like when Jim Carrey played God.
Yes.
On
yeah, exactly.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Anyway,
Anyway, she continues. But in the absolutely best great debating kind of way. I know I'm a strange cookie for being obsessed with a serious, comedic, campy, broody show, but damn, that's just how it be sometimes. And I feel like these two get it. Not only are they witty and funny, but they are so interactive with their doodle-doos. I wish I could be on the show to just absolutely destroy them with facts and all of my knowing perspectives on the fascinating character arcs and metaphors and foreshadowing. I mean, they are pretty cool. And I hope to be able to experience more episodes so I can finally suck down some libations and leave a healthy, inappropriate voicemail. Love these guys, 10 out of 10 would recommend. In the name of Keanu Reeves, amen.
Damn. Also, by the way, Taylor Jordan Guy, happy fucking birthday. Sorry we didn't post this when we said that we would, because you were expecting it on your birthday. But also, I don't want people to think that we're going to tailor episodes to their birthday. No pun intended that your name is Taylor. You know what I mean. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for the review, though.
Yes.
And you know what else Taylor Jordan Guy did, everybody, that you can also do is claim your free sticker.
Yes.
After you've reviewed us.
Yeah, she sent in a screenshot of her review and
wrote down the wordy words, gave us the starry stars, and we gave them the stickery.
Yeah, and she told us that she got it, and it's now on the back of her car, and
yeah,
cool.
Let us know how that works out.
Yeah.
Neat.
I think it's time.
Hey, Rex, it is time. I have an announcement to make. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves emotionally for a full 6 minutes of the delightful, heartfelt ravings of a madwoman, because I've taken literally nearly a year's worth of backlogged voicemails and condensed them into pure, distilled amazing. This is the River Crystal Sam Omnibus.
You finally fucking did it.
I finally fucking did it. I found a bad enough episode that I was able to do the notes quick enough for, that I also did the River Crystal Sam Omnibus. Bleep!
Hi, Rex. Hi, Josh. Crystal River Sam. I've been binge listening to the good old Be With Baby. The whole podcast is entertaining. Please, dear God, come back. Take care.
We're going to call that first message a practice, although y'all would probably play it on air because y'all are fucking asshats, but that's why I love you. Buffy podcast of the movie, would still like to see that. Podcast on DS9. I can't find a love roast of DS9, and I would love that. Finally got to School Hard, and I was like, look, babe, this is where it starts to actually get fucking good. Because Spike's here now, because Spike. Woo! Y'all might get more messages. I make no promises. Chaos Goblin, that is what I am. Anyway, I know y'all are on break, and it's well-deserved. Starting to research making my own podcast. Missing you guys. work and whatnot, and y'all are my favorite thing to listen to when I drive for work. So, podcast on the Buffy movie. Still would really like to hear you guys do that, because I want to hear Josh fucking go ape shit on Pee-wee. Podcast of DS9. Seriously, like, y'all should do it. Like, I have yet to find a podcast, a Love Rose podcast, about DS9, and I just think that would be awesome. Successfully have left the alcohol alone. I've only been drinking if I'm going out socially. Woohoo! Yay! Rex, I don't know if you're still doing that thing, but, if you are, I hope it's going well. If you aren't, no judgment, man. You gotta be realistic with yourself and shit. I wish you the best in all of your endeavors and shit. Adults say, I guess. I think, I don't know. Are we adults? We're not adults.
It's Crystal River Sam, K-Pro Gnome, Madam of many monikers, getting ready to fucking happily trot my ass to Mordor, I'm sure. Just got done listening to, not the Harry Groner one, the other episode before that. I watched the Harry Groner one on YouTube, because I could. I saw you guys. How highly inappropriate. Anyway, it was great. You guys did a fantastic job. I'm really proud of you. And I don't know how you set that up, but it was fucking amazing. Thank you for the holiday gift. It's a great way to come back. I want to see the pictures of your friend's Tooth Fairy costume. That sounds amazing. He should have won, just on concept alone, but I want to see the execution. You should post pictures, get his permission. The other thing, I'm going to save that for another message. Hey, Rex. Hey, Josh. Okay, part 2. This is important. I have been waiting for multiple seasons now for y'all to realize the badness of Duke Cardboard of Wonder Bread, a.k.a. Riley. You finally get it, why he's terrible, too. He makes it all about him. He's insecure. He can't deal with Buffy's independence. And he's insecure in their relationship because of her strength and her independence. I don't know, I lose track. Y'all do the fucking edits. That's your job. Okay, part 3. So, this is my thing of saying Riley's supposed to be this good guy. He's touted as this good guy. He's so much better than Angel or Spike. Well, no, not really, because, look at this normal guy who doesn't like her. It's like, Buffy didn't fail him. She had her own shit going on, and he gave her an ultimatum in the end. But yet, he's just so wonderful, and Buffy failed, and that's the way it looked. That kind of influenced how I interacted with my partners for years. Here in my late 30s, I finally figure out that, no, that's not wrong, that's great, and I'm a capable, full person. That's my walk into Mordor. I've trotted happily. Have fun, y'all. I would buy that shit. I would like a horsecock dildo with Beer with Buffy on it, please. Anyway.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Rex. It is the Madam of Many Monikers, Crystal River Sam, K-Pro Gnome, listening and binging the podcast again. So, yeah, that was my experience. It was good. Anyway, this is a long-ass fucking voicemail, as usual. Wouldn't be surprised if I called and made some more, but whatever. Hey, Rex. Hey, Josh. It is Crystal River Sam, K-Pro Gnome, Madam of Many Monikers. You forced me to call in. And Buffy and the chicken wings and Tell Me How to Not Die episode with British lady. The British lady was like, no, Angel has a soul during the Boxer Rebellion. And you were like, no, this is way before. So this actually is a part where Angel does indeed have a soul. Because this is right when he got a soul, but he was still trying to run with Darla because that's what he knew. Hey, Rex. Hey, Josh. Crystal River Sam. K-Pro Gnome. I forgot what other names I have. Whatever. Madam of Many Monikers. I am here. I moved in with my partner. My partner has something he has to teach you, so the next time I listen to your podcast, my head doesn't fucking explode. Listen.
I've been conscripted to inform you that irregardless is not a word. However, regardless and irrespective are both permissible to use. Please
listen to my partner. He says these things because he cares. Learn a lesson. Fuck you, Josh. Anyway, look forward to the next episode. Love you guys. Madam of Many Monikers signing out for now.
I'm sorry. I have to say the highlight was Duke Cardboard Wonder Bread.
Yes.
There were some high points, but that was the high point.
You know, I appreciate that she binge listened to our episodes, so we binge listened to her voicemails.
Exactly. There you go. That's what you get.
One of the key things I did want to say to you though is if you are looking for a good DS9 podcast, I highly recommend the Greatest Gen podcast.
No. They didn't pay us to say that.
They didn't. They didn't. But if you like the format of our show, we totally didn't steal our format from them.
Except for the part where we did.
Except for that part, yes.
Yeah.
No, they did. The Greatest Gen originally was a Star Trek TNG podcast, but they went on to DS9 afterwards.
Because obviously, TNG does not last forever.
No.
Although it should, it does not.
It does not.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're looking for a DS9 podcast, that's where I would go.
Yeah, there you go. I also thought you would appreciate her agreeing with how much you hate Irregardless.
Yes.
I'm surprised you don't have anything to say about that.
I have a list of notes, and I'll try to go in order.
Oh, I see. My bad.
The next thing I wanted to mention, she mentioned us reviewing the Buffy movie. I don't know that we've ever really talked about it much on the air, but I know we individually, outside of the podcast, have definitely discussed the potential future, if we ever get enough of a fandom or anything like that, of doing live shows. And
I just want to take us straight to a podcast convention and see what happens.
Yeah,
I think we should try it out.
But we've talked about this, and I think we've wanted for a while to do a live show where we review the Buffy movie as the live show, and that would be just neat.
Peachy. Or neat. Yeah. Peachy neat.
Yes. But, you know, we need more patrons before we can ever, get to that kind of point where we're able to afford doing live shows.
Not necessarily. But that would be good. I'm not saying don't get us new patrons. Anyway, you got anything more?
The last thing, she did mention seeing the Harry Groner interview on YouTube, and hey, guess what? Everyone can see that on YouTube now. We opened it up to the general public.
Yeah, we made that public a little bit ago.
Have we shared the link on any of our socials?
No, but you know what? Damn, we should
do that. With the release of this episode, we will share the links to that so more of our fans can see the actual video recorded interview.
Abso-farting-lutely.
And then you'll get to see what we look like on video.
Yeah, I'm just going to stick that link right in the description and in the tweet and in the Facebook, everything, everywhere. Us. Me. And a little bit of Rex. Mostly me.
I mean,
shoes. Chopping. Which, by the way, hey, the Stanley Parable is relevant again.
Yes, it is.
We're not just completely old fucks. There's a new extended version of it. If you haven't played it, it's amazing. It's new on Steam. They also did not pay us to say this, but they should.
Oh, God. I don't care. The Stanley Parable is so good. They don't need to pay me.
Specifically, the Ultra Deluxe version.
Yes.
Literally not going to say anything else about it. It's the kind of game where you can ruin everything with the simplest detail.
Yep.
Just fucking play it.
Okay, I think it's time to actually get on with this show.
It very much is.
I think it's time for a
monopsis.
Yeah, monopsis.
There, you had it right the first time.
Phenomena.
Phenomena. And we're done. Joshua! What are you doing, Joshua? Besides singing Phenomena. Stop it! Stop it, Rex! Get the fuck off my set! Joshua, though, what are you doing, Joshua? Also singing Phenomena. I mean, well, I've got this weird spot on the back of my head. Oh, shut up, Joshua. It's always a complaint with you, isn't it? No, but I think it's a serious problem, though, Mom. Like, I got bit by something while I was walking the other day, Oh, look at me. I'm Joshua, and I'm so poor, and I don't have any money, and my mother is a terrible human being, and nobody loves me, and now I have an extra eyeball in the back of my head. Well, let me call you a ambulance, Joshua. Sure, I get it, Mom. I get it. You're doing this ironic bit where you're actively doing the exact thing that you're mocking me for always criticizing you about, while you obviously lack any kind of self-awareness of the fact. But I mean, if you could seriously just... You know what? Never mind. Do you think I don't have an eye in the back of my head, Joshua? Of course I do. I'm your mother. I know everything you do. All right, snooping through my room and paying way too much attention to whether anything in the house has moved in order to know if I've been home recently is not a literal eye in the back of your fucking head. It's a fucking personality disorder. You know what, Joshua? I'm tired of you crying to me only when you need something. You know what? My friends wanted me to join them for a zombie walk, and I'm going to go do that. Because what about me? What about my needs? Since when the fuck do you like zombie-themed sporting events? Shut up, Joshua! There's no sense pointing out my plot holes this late in the game. Fine, I'll drive my own damn ambulance. Man, it's crazy how, my life always seems to imitate art, specifically in the Buffy and Angelverse. In this episode of Angel, there's a bunch of cops terrorizing people. But the cops are all, actual zombies, literally mind-controlled corpses, and Angel figures this out around the same time that Gunn starts to investigate them. Angel knows that Gunn is investigating the police brutality, but does not inform Gunn that they are zombies. He instead goes to Kate Lockley, the detective, to do his own research. Wesley and Cordelia are working together on another case of a possessed little girl who was bitten by a demon and now has a third eye in the back of her head. It was unclear whether it's a demon eye or her own eye, but once they realize Gunn's stupid plan to get attacked by overly brutal policemen and catch it on film, they run to his aid. This does not go well, but luckily, Angel manages to find the totem controlling all the zombie popo and destroy it just in the nick of time. He goes to see Wesley in the hospital afterwards. This also does not go well. The end.
Correct. That also doesn't go well.
It does not. It goes poorly, in fact.
Ladies, gentlemen, spiny-headed looking creatures. As soon as the sun goes down, vampire. As soon as the sun goes down, vampire. Competition is a beautiful thing. Moves here.
We open up on a short little scene in the hotel where Angel comes home to an empty lobby and a sad piano.
Hyperion Hotel, that is.
Yes. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, all the sad pianos. Cut to Lost Angeles Investigations. It's still clever, I think.
It's okay.
Yeah, shut up.
The new office where Wes is wishing for some demons to fight. He's a little bored.
Oh no, what will we do? It's so quiet, we can't just expect a Buffyverse flip to happen, and ding ding, hello, I'd like you to do the thing that you were just complaining wouldn't happen.
Cordy makes a joke saying that they can get a map of the stars and go to Steven Seagal's house because she assumes that he could have only possibly become an actor due to demonic help. And I just want to say that I want to back her on this idea.
Yeah.
Did you know just how fucking awful Steven Seagal is as a person?
I've caught wind of a few things that make me embarrassed to have an autographed photograph of him because...
Oh, I did not know that.
When I was a child, not really a small child, but, a child, 5th grade-ish, imagine, my mom's boyfriend was really into Steven Seagal movies. He just liked watching people get their asses whooped. And he was the king of, snapping people's joints backwards.
Yeah.
And, people loved it. And I thought they were okay at the time, too. So we had an assignment in 5th grade to write to a celebrity. I wanted to write to Bill Murray, but we couldn't find his address. Somebody brought in this book that was literally a book of celebrity mailing addresses.
Well, that's handy.
Yeah, but Bill Murray wasn't in there, so I went with Steven Seagal instead.
Yeah, so apparently he has been accused of sexual misconduct, sexual harassment, and rape. He's also a Trump supporter. Apparently there have been some allegations of him being involved in some sort of sex trafficking things.
Jesus fucking
And
Christ.
then on top of that, shortly after Russia invaded the Ukraine, he went to Russia to have his birthday party in Moscow with friends of Putin.
Wow.
And Putin gave him citizenship of Russia.
Oh, dear. Well, I'm going to burn that photo.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a lovely person.
Yeah, holy shit. So, yeah, like I was saying earlier, just as Wesley is like, oh, well, we can't expect evil to just walk right through the door. Ding, ding. Excuse me, could you help me with my small child with a demonic eye in the back of her head?
Yep.
Okay, that'd be great.
We meet the mother, Francine, and her daughter, Stephanie. She got bit on her walk home and now has an eye in the back of her head.
I hate it when that happens.
Good news to the team here. She wants to pay them anything that they want to just get rid of it.
Cordelia establishes very rudely, as soon as she mentions her name, that she is one of Virginia's rich friends.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So
I find it interesting, like the mom's tone in this scene. It doesn't read as concern for her daughter. It's just get that weird, ugly thing off the back of her head, please.
You know, to be fair, that's a factor. I'd be pretty fucking freaked out.
I do wish they had addressed whether or not the girl can see out of that eye.
Yeah, I was really curious about that.
But they never addressed it.
Yeah, well, we're going to come back to that. Or not. Just like the episode. Moving along. So they're all like, yeah, we can handle that. In fact, that's not even weird enough for us to handle. Fuck you. I'm bored already. So, cut to the street. It's nighttime. There are two teenagers, a guy and a girl, being chased by some mysterious shadowy figure. They said some words. I forget what they were.
There's some thing in the alley.
On the in the alley. I've got to, mister. All right. I'm sorry. Why do I always got to take it to the Ventura place?
You only had so much
interaction. Rhetorical
interaction.
question, Rex.
Oh, okay.
Now I want to know what you were going to say.
You only had so much interaction with positive role models in your childhood that you latched onto the one thing.
Oh, yeah. Shit. I didn't want a real answer for that.
Sorry.
Cut to Anne's rescue place from a few episodes ago. I believe it's
the shelter.
Yeah. What's it? East Hills Teen Shelter.
Yes, East Hills Teen Shelter.
Something like that.
Anne's place. It's Anne's place.
Yeah, the same two kids from the alleyway show up at her door, panicked, and Anne starts to turn them away. She's like, you guys, you know there's a curfew. But she sees the fear in their eyes and says, all right, get the fuck in here.
Yep. And then they get inside and we get an ominous shadow walking out of an alley that's a cop. Gives strong T-1000 vibes.
Very much so. Yeah, it was very dark on my screen. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to be able to tell that it was a cop, but I could tell there was a cop.
Yeah.
So I guess we were supposed to be able to tell.
And you get a little flash of badge.
Yeah. Okay.
So
it was the hat mainly that did it for me. All right. Cool. Yeah. My first impression was, wow, this shit is all over the place in this opening, in this cold open, because we see 4 different fucking places. But 2 of them very connected.
Yep.
Technically, both sets of 2 very connected.
At this point, they didn't establish any like actual story arc for Angel yet, but the story arc they established for the rest of the group doesn't even have anything to do with this. Everything they've established up to this point before this scene has nothing to do with the actual episode.
Right. Well, no, I mean the kids and the cop have everything to do with
that's it though. Like the whole scene with the
the girl with the eyeball ends up being a complete red herring. It's weird.
I guess they come back to it. Like
they left plenty of room for this to be revisited next episode. We'll see what happens. Cut to opening sequence. Meow, 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 meow. Merle's hideout.
Yep, Merle is packing up his shit and he turns around and gets startled by Angel. One of my quotes here, he says, "Do you ever knock?" And Angel replies with, "You don't make that funny expression when I knock. Or if you do, I don't see it."
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good reason to break into someone's home.
Definitely. Yeah, Angel's just being a huge dick again. We've established this multiple times over, the way he treats Merle, compared to what Merle, I think, did to him. Sold him out once or something? I don't know. I guess Angel just will never fucking forgive him.
I mean, the dude's job of choice is selling information. You don't trust somebody who sells information with information.
And on top of that, when you consistently completely fuck over and intimidate this informant, they're not going to be very forthcoming with the correct information.
Right.
And they're just going to fuck you over at the first opportunity. So everything about this is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
As it gets more and more established later in the episode, and I like that they turn a little bit of a self-aware eye back on themselves this episode. No pun intended.
But yeah, Merle gives him some information about a meeting that Wolfram and Hart are having, which I guess we're going to follow up with next episode.
Sure, maybe, probably. You know, they got to come back to Wolfram and Hart at some point.
Yeah.
But Merle's all kinds of fucking done with this shit. He's packing his things.
Can't blame him.
He calls Angel out on abusing him like everybody else who wants free information. And he even makes it personal. He's like, well, you know, maybe you shouldn't have fired your entire fucking staff, huh? And
that was a pretty good Merle.
Oh, thanks. But like you said, he gives him the time. Angel tries to tell him, well, I don't think you're in any kind of a position to... And he's like, yeah, fuck you, Angel. I feel like Merle has more than repaid any wrongs or debt he had to Angel, and Angel really just needs to fuck off and leave him alone. He's just being a shitty bully at this point.
Just let Merle fucking leave.
Yeah.
Just let him leave.
Exactly.
Let him get on with his life.
If you can't function without Merle's information, then you're a shitty detective.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or maybe you should apologize to your friends.
Also, just the part that, like, he is kind of a shitty detective because he can't go out in the day.
Yeah.
That's why he needed the other guys.
Yeah. Back to Annie's wayward teen shack. You kill him, we grill him.
So, yeah, it's the next day, the next morning, and Anne decides to question Kenny. That's the guy's name who came in.
Uh-huh.
I didn't get the girl's name, though. But she questions Kenny about what was going on.
Leo or...
Yeah.
I could look it up if it matters that much.
It doesn't, but...
No.
She asks Kenny what got them so spooked the night before, and he didn't really want to give much information, but then comes out and says that it was cops. The cops attacked them. They were just out on the street, kind of panhandling maybe, but they were just out on the street, and the cop just yelled at them for loitering and started beating them with his nightstick. And they ran off.
Yeah, she kind of sort of doesn't really believe him. She's like, well, what were you doing? At first, a little bit of victim blaming kind of bothered me.
The only thing here that kind of bothers me, though, is in the little bit of scene when they were running from the cop in the alley, Kenny actually had the line...
Les. Her name was Les.
Yeah, Les.
Started with an L. I knew that.
But Kenny had the line saying, "It is following us," or something like that, or "It's right behind us." Not him. Not he is. And it said it. And
yeah.
Like, obviously it was meant to be more ambiguous so that it's like, we don't know it's a cop. But, like, it just, that struck me as odd.
Yeah. That's a shitty writing technique.
Yeah.
That's what they did there, and they didn't care.
But, yeah, Anne says that, you know, she's actually going to look into it. She knows someone who can help. And I thought she was going to go to Angel for help, but she didn't.
Yeah, well, because she went straight to Angel Investigation's new location. I don't know how she knew to find Gunn there.
Word on the street is Gunn is working there.
Yeah, yes, apparently.
Yeah, she goes to New Angel Investigations to see Gunn, which apparently they know each other from off-screen.
Old friends. Well, not really from off-screen, but, you know, from backstory.
Well, yeah, backstory. Yeah, I guess they have a good rapport. That makes sense, given their particular lines of work. Her saving kids and him killing vampires.
Yeah,
that totally goes hand in hand.
Well, I mean, also she had that run-in with a demon cult.
Well, yeah.
That does make good sense. But I guess Gunn didn't really know a whole lot about demons. He was specifically vampires at first.
But no, they know each other, and Gunn is down to look into the cop situation, and he's like, you know what? Fuck researching this eye. I don't need to know about some white girl's eye in the back of her head.
Y'all ain't need me. I ain't need y'all. Cordy sarcastically drops a line about, oh, you're going to miss all the fun here? While she's describing the demon eye in the back of this girl's head while name-dropping their company, Anne recognizes the name Angel, and they determine it is definitely the same Angel that Anne knows.
Yep.
What a coinkydink! So, luckily, they all seem to share a similarly shitty opinion of Angel, and Anne doesn't mind at all that they still work under his name regardless of their opinions of him as a person. Or vampire, whatever, even though he's a vampire. But so as they leave, Gunn fucks off with Anne, and Angel is spying on them from on top of a building.
Yep.
And he starts to follow them along the building line as they leave.
Yeah, Angel trails Gunn to the shelter. Gunn goes there to interview the kids. Angel just kind of does his lurky boy thing from outside.
He's a lurky boy.
He is quite the lurky boy.
Mm-hmm. So Gunn and Anne are talking to this primarily black group of kids that are all being harassed by the police. No, we don't live in a systemically racist country at all. Not even a little bit. So Gunn tells Anne to give them a minute, because Gunn needs a more private moment to confirm with them that they're not all just fucking with Anne and trying to take advantage of her, because that would be awfully shitty.
Yeah.
But they're straight with Gunn because he's black, which is actually totally understandable, and I take no issue with whatsoever. However, the lines for these kids here are written like a white pastor watched a sitcom one time and had a black friend once.
Yeah.
So he's really with it. It's written like a church lady who used to be a lunch lady at a primarily white public school overheard the black children talking one day.
I grew up in a very white school, but I grew up very poor. So, I did associate with plenty of other black kids. Just
black. I'm sorry, I know what you mean. You're the blackest man I know, Rex.
Other kids who are black. And I get that these writers are definitely trying to write for a white audience,
while also trying to be respectful and accurate of black people, black culture, Ebonics, all that. But it comes off super fucking awkward.
Yeah, it really fucking does. It really fucking does.
Like watching black people read lines from a white person's perspective of what black people are like is cringy as fuck. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you can tell that they know, and they're
they definitely know.
This is just how I make my paycheck. It's fucking how they're reading these lines.
Yep.
They're trying. They're really trying. They needed to be in the writer's room as well, not just acting.
Yeah. And I mean, they're also kid actors.
Yeah. That adds a certain level of awkward that's almost unrecreatable.
Well, and like the one kid, Ray, Gunn recognizes him from dealing drugs on the street. And Ray's like, oh, no, I don't do that anymore. And it's like, it doesn't come off anything sincere. Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't believe that kid's ever been on a street corner. Let alone that he has stopped dealing drugs. Like,
of course not. They're actors.
Well, right. But like
in California,
it does not read.
Obviously, there's rough spots in California. Wow. And I just automatically equated rough with being black. We can't just, it's impossible to not step in it.
No, it is quite impossible, and we should move on.
Yeah, we should. So
I don't want to share my feelings. I don't want to open up. I want to find the guy that killed Tina, and I want to look him in the eye. Then what? Then I'm going to share my feelings.
to the exterior of the building.
Yeah, where Angel goes to leave, and he's stopped by a cop.
What?
Yeah, the cop immediately tries to arrest Angel for being outside.
For existing, yes.
Well, this just doesn't track at all. Because he's white.
Cops never harass people, especially white people. Actually, that's not true. I've been harassed by cops.
Yeah, but you're also not...
Statistically far less likely to end up dying from it.
Oh, God, yes.
Absolutely.
The cop attempts to arrest Angel, pins him up against the wall. Angel's like, oh, no, you know what, fuck this, and like shrugs the dude off and goes to walk away, but the cop decides to pull out his nightstick and fucking attack him.
Yeah, he doesn't waste any fucking time. He starts reading him his Miranda rights.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you can't do it that way.
Well, duh.
Like, legally.
Yeah.
But anyway.
As you're beating them, you have the right to remain silent. Yeah.
But,
you're telling me Angel isn't 100% legally accurate? We should contact Legal Eagle for this. He does all kinds of weird shit.
I would be tickled pink.
Oh,
if
absolutely.
we ever got in touch with Legal Eagle.
That would never
anything
happen.
ever.
He's too popular for us. But Angel, luckily, can handle himself.
Yeah, he throws the cop to the ground, like hits him pretty hard and puts him to the ground, and then the cop gets back up. Angel's just like, holy shit, this guy's still coming at me. And then he ends up kicking his head off.
Just roundhouse kicks his head like a fucking soccer ball.
He actually uses his celerity power to do it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, I was wondering later in this episode, why doesn't he use his goddamn celerity in fights? He'd be so much better off.
And he just does this time, and he denogonizes the cop.
Probably uses a lot of energy.
Probably.
Yeah. Or it... Well, we already decided it only works if it's dramatic.
Right.
Like, tense fight? No. That's not dramatic enough.
But I mean, if you're going to kick someone's head off, I think you need to use some power for that.
So the head lands on the hood of the fucking car and is still talking. I forget what it was saying, but it was still just in Miranda rights mode.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, it turns out the cop was a zombie.
Yep. Well, mystery solved. Everybody go home.
It was the old white men all along.
No big deal. I'm thinking they came back to rectify their portrayal and glorification of police brutality from the end of last season.
Oh, maybe.
Remember how we had some issues with how Kate was handling things?
Yeah, I do recall.
But, you know, we'll see where this goes. So far,
I mean, for fuck's sake,
terrible.
This whole episode, they're like, these cops did this, and like the list of things that they're doing, there's very few moments where I'm not like, no, that's just how cops are these days.
Yeah, there's never a moment where I feel like their reaction is justifiable, where they're like, well, what? Why would they do that? What? You must have been doing something wrong. I'm like, no, that all tracks.
Yeah,
that's on point.
That's how cops are.
What's the thing? Why do they have to be zombies? Whatever. So anyway, yeah, no, it turns out he doesn't say zombie, but his body turns all green and shriveled and gross and still talking. I was wondering if it was some sort of necromancy, but I guess what is zombieism if not necromancy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you can't have zombies without necromancer. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's what somebody told me once. I believed them.
Well, I guess the only kind of other zombies you can have without a necromancer are the like fucking disease kind, but those are lame zombies.
I like Walking Dead. Anyway,
I mean, it started off strong.
We're not reviewing Walking Dead right now, so
fair.
We're doing that later in the episode.
Yeah, back in the shelter, after talking to the kids, a couple of Gunn's old friends, old crew that he used to work with come in.
Finally, we get some fucking backstory. Not even backstory, but some kind of story or acknowledgement at all about him being gone from where he used to live and the community he used to be a part of. His people, these two guys at least, totally resent that he's never around anymore.
Yeah.
And now they think he's just being a hoity-toity douche.
Rondell and George, those are their names.
Yeah. I have to hand it to the writers. I mean, maybe they were just being badgered. Like, hey, guys, it doesn't make any fucking sense that we haven't made any fucking mention at all of Gunn just leaving his community. What about that? And so they really used this opportunity well to establish that, yeah, he did just kind of abandon them.
Yeah.
It's not exactly good character development or anything. Like, we still don't know why. What's his justification? And he kind of treats these guys like dicks right here.
Yeah, I don't get his attitude. Like, so they're there because he called in a favor. Because they show up and they're like, hey, dude, I got the camcorder you wanted me to bring, kind of thing. And so he called them, invited them there, but then their whole attitude back and forth is like, fuck you, man, fuck you, man, fuck you, man.
Yeah, well, he tries to reestablish his leadership dominance over them, and they're like,
yeah,
man, we're not here for you. We're here for the fucking kids.
Yeah.
Because he tries to be like, well, if you're going to have that attitude, you can just leave. And they're like, you're not the boss of me anymore.
Right.
And yeah, they're fucking right.
But hey, they're all going to help, and they got a plan that involves a camcorder.
Yeah. Film the police. They love that.
That always works. We've always found that when you film the police doing something wrong, that they definitely get everything they deserve for their wrongdoing.
100% accountability.
Yeah.
110% accountability. Especially when they film themselves. That footage never comes up missing.
No, and on top of that, there's never been times where they've done something very pointedly, obviously wrong on film and then walked away without charges whatsoever.
Even though it was immediately 100% posted on the internet for the entire world to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's never happened.
Not once. Yeah.
I wonder what our political views in this circumstance are.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone will ever guess.
Why does it have to have anything to do with the political view? Where these are just facts.
I mean, yeah.
As
fair.
long as you take everything we just said for the last couple of minutes and reverse it.
Yeah, you know.
Play opposite day.
Yes.
And you'll crack the code here,
yes.
guys.
We might be being sarcastic.
I'm not being sarcastic. So, I guess these guys come to an understanding, even though it's a bit tense for a minute.
Yeah. Well, in the end, they have the same goals.
Quote of the day here. Gunn says, all right, look, the plan is simple. I want you to roll the camcorder and wait for the cops to hassle us. Ann says, how do you know they will? Gunn says, because we'll be the ones walking while black.
Yeah.
Quote of the fucking day right there.
I'm so fucking happy they put that line in.
That was a good line. That might be the best line of the episode. I have a couple more, but we'll see where it lands.
I don't have very many more.
I didn't say I had very many more. Just a couple.
From there, we cut to the police station where, hey, Kate! We haven't seen you in a while, Kate.
Kate Lockley.
It's almost as if last time on Angel might have hinted that you'll be in this episode. Who knows?
Did it? I don't recall that at all.
It gave us a recap because we aren't watching this show. We don't know who anyone is.
Okay. I don't remember that at all. Congratulations. So,
Anyway.
Angel visits Kate with all the relish of meeting your ex-wife in court to settle up some alimony.
No, that's accurate.
Yeah. She immediately grabs a couple files about 2 women killed in a clothing store and another one about 13 lawyers from Wolfram and Hart slaughtered in a wine cellar. He doesn't really offer any kind of information on those cases.
I mean, why should he? He obviously had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, never mind that he could solve them for her in a heartbeat, but he does at least mention that he set Darla and Drusilla on fire, and she's not even impressed by that because he enjoyed it too much. You can't fucking win here, can you, Angel?
Right.
Jesus. So, Angel seems to purposefully pick the worst timing possible alongside the worst phrasing possible to inform her of his recent cop murdering activities.
Yes.
Not surprisingly, she looks pretty close to setting him on fire herself. But then he mentions the part where the head was still talking after being decapitated and gives her the badge to run. Well, guess what? The cop died 6 months ago.
Yeah. So, hey, guess what, Angel? You didn't murder him.
Yeah. But,
well, last night. You didn't murder him last night.
Yeah, we don't know what he was doing 6 months ago.
Exactly.
Either way, this is a fucking problem.
Yeah.
And Angel offers to take her on a ride. Yeah, she should definitely trust you, Angel. I don't see why not.
He doesn't even, let's go to place A to check out facts B and C to make sure that things line up. No, do you want to go for a ride?
Straight to the graveyard. Look at this loose dirt. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Cut to Angel-less investigations.
Yes, where Cordy is on the phone with Gunn, who is blowing off the whole eye case. Shirking your duties, not researching little girls with demon eyes on the back of their head.
Like an asshole.
And then, of course, Cordy fills in Wesley on Gunn's terrible fucking dumb plan.
Yeah, I had another quote of the day here. One that's actually funny and not poignant. So, it's a welcome change of pace, I suppose. Yeah. Cordy says, just that in order to find out if the police have been brutalizing and killing people in Ant's neighborhood, he's going to videotape the cops trying to brutalize and kill him. Wesley says, you can't be serious. Cordy says, nothing says, aha, I'm on to you, like being on the receiving end of a vicious police beating. That hit me funnier when I was watching it than it does now. But another highlight of the scene, Wesley says, well, that can't be his plan, can it? I mean, it's really a dumb plan. Hey, Gunn graduated with a major in dumb planning from Angel University. He sat at the feet of the master and learned well how to plan dumbly.
Yes.
It's also an equally dumb line.
Yeah.
But also funny.
But also accurate. Like, this is very much a dumb plan that Angel would come up with.
It kind of is, yeah. So
the only difference is if Angel gets brutalized and shot by police, he's fine.
That's true. Yeah. I was going to say, I can't even criticize it too much but yeah, it's not too offbeat in comparison to the rest of the show, so whatever.
Yeah. But, they hesitate. They go back to researching the girl with the third eye for a moment, and then they're like, you know what? Let's go make sure Gunn doesn't die.
It's a complete vaudeville moment here. I fucking loved it. It was all in the delivery. Cordy and Wesley sit down at the table. They look like they're really seriously about to get back into working on researching the girl with the eye. Cordy says, we'll work our gig. Gunn can work his. Wesley immediately says, right. Slams his book shut. Let's get down there and save him from himself. Yeah, it's not like that third eye is really going anywhere. It's a fun moment. Watch the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
A person needs certain designer things. You shouldn't be trying to eat my friend's brains. Hey, you're a vampire.
Cut to a graveyard.
Yes, where Angel and Kate look at the grave for the cop who died, and because Angel is a vampire, he can tell that the grave was disturbed within the last couple of weeks, despite the fact that the cop died 6 months ago. And, maybe that means that he's no longer in his grave.
Ergo, zombie cops.
Yes.
I knew it. It's zombie cops.
And so they're like, hey, let's look at the graves for some of the other cops who have died recently.
Oh, fuck. This one's disturbed, too. Kate suddenly gets really upset and runs to her father's grave.
But that one's fine.
Luckily.
Which, I would imagine that if you're going to raise zombie cops, they'd have to, be...
You'd want relatively young ones.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was safe because he was old.
Yeah. He was already retired. He didn't die in the line of duty or anything like that.
Right.
I think that's the theme here. All these cops died in the line of duty.
Yep. Well, Angel solved the case. It's all wrapped up here. Everybody go home.
Yeah, we just... Oh, right. But maybe we should figure out who the fuck raised all these zombie cops.
Nah, what for? Now that we know they're zombies. I was really hoping Kate's dad was going to become a zombie by the end of the episode.
Right?
That would have
been great.
That's where the fucking story was right there.
Yeah.
And they totally missed it. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Cut back to the East Hill Teen Shelter.
Yep. Where Wesley and Cordy arrive looking for Gunn. Anne mentions that Gunn went off to such and such street. I didn't write down the street, but Wesley's
like, 45th Street.
I'm going to go catch him. And Cordy's like, oh, Anne, I'll help you.
Do you know how to fold laundry? I'm an actress. I'll pretend. That's how that works. Okay.
Yeah, and then we get a choice moment here. And he goes to close the door, and then this dude barges in. Turns out his name's Jackson, but we don't know that at the moment.
Yeah, this fucking guy.
Guy barges in, and then immediately gets fucking creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Because she tells him, we don't have any space, we don't have any beds available, and he pushes in, he's like, well, I think I can find someone who's willing to share, and then, like, eyeballs a bunch of fucking teen girls, and is like, oh, yeah, some good choices here, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's, like, I get it, he's a bad guy, he's a drug dealer, like, we're supposed to hate him and everything, but, like, why is the go-to to, like...
To make him also a pedophile?
Yeah, like, why is that the thing?
I don't know. I also feel like it's like the story was really pressing here that it was important that this man is black and that he's our traditional idea of either a gangster or a street thug, somebody that pushes drugs, and terrorizes children and pressures them into doing things that they wouldn't want to do otherwise, but they need the money. And he's clearly just getting joy out of scaring the shit out of threatening to kill this kid who seems to know him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was dealing for him or what, because they come back to this character and he's got some beef with, he ends up having some beef with Gunn. And I really feel like they just wanted this juxtaposition between this guy that we're supposed to hate right out of the gate, who's black, and then Gunn, who we don't hate, who's black, because this wouldn't have worked otherwise. This is a very racially charged episode.
Yeah,
and
really
they're
is.
trying really hard to say something poignant and helpful to, for, or about the black community. I'm not saying they do it really well, but that's what's going on in this episode.
Yeah. I think I get what they were trying to go for, but the whole fucking thing, the whole episode just reads as like they were trying to put in a book report for a book they didn't read.
Kinda.
That's really how it feels to me. Because, like, you don't really get...
It's not that they didn't read it so much as they were just trying to please the teacher.
Yeah.
They weren't trying to actually see the problem.
Right. Yeah.
From the ground level.
And it basically, to me, their attempt at doing this just comes off as so fucking condescending.
Yeah, a bit.
And
definitely.
It's like a fucking rich white woman getting upset because some other person said a thing that the rich white woman sees as a racial slur to somebody who's not even in the room.
Kinda, yeah.
And, like, in the end, it's a rich white woman who needs to just shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
And not, like, getting into things
or a rich white man.
Right.
Not to be
there's the trope of virtue signaling that rich white women women do. Specifically the very much never been poor in their life sorts of people.
Yeah. Anyway, so this guy terrorizes this kid who's petrified.
Yeah.
And he says, "Don't worry, I'd never kill you. Not here, not inside this place." Woof.
Not with all these witnesses.
Yeah, not with all these pretty girls watching, is what he said.
Yeah.
Also that. Cut to 45th Street.
Yep, where Gunn and his crew are looking for cops. And
they found kind of the opposite of cops. Had there not been a zombie cop pandemic, they wouldn't have found a cop here.
Yeah.
They call it gang ground, and they establish that even cops won't go here. So they turn around to leave before they themselves get fucked up for being in a bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
And, guess what? It's a cop.
Yeah, look at that. You found one. Good job.
But is it a zombie cop? I honestly wasn't sure.
It's hard to say. He seems to be acting like a normal cop as far as I've seen.
It could have so easily just been a super diligent bastard cop. Until, of course... See, here's how we know that it wasn't a normal cop and it was, in fact, a zombie cop. Wesley tries to use his white privilege to save Gunn, and the cop shoots Wesley. So, there it is. That's proof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cop would assume that he was white because he sounds British. And most white people will assume that anyone with a British accent is white. That's actually a factual thing.
That sounds accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so Wesley gets shot, and Gunn and his friends, what are their names? George and
Rondell. Yeah.
They get to work fighting this cop, and they make him drop his gun, and one of them picks up the gun and shoots the cop.
Yeah, George picks up the gun. The cop's actually about to pull out a second gun from his ankle holster, and George shoots the cop. And then the rest of the scene, George is like, I shot a cop. And you can tell.
Oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck.
You can tell he's like, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. Holy shit, I shot a cop. I'm fucked.
Wipe the fingerprints off the gun. There ain't no cameras on that
He
corner.
just drops the gun, by the way.
Yeah.
Also, this is the gun that shot Wesley. And now it has his fingerprints on it.
Exactly.
Like,
extra fucked there, boss.
Yeah.
So they're over there looking at Wesley, and he's still freaking out. And then the cop sits up suddenly, like Michael fucking Myers in Halloween. Well, okay, both actually.
Yeah, Gunn's response is pretty great, though.
Doesn't look that dead. Booyah. There's a quote.
The delivery was good. I liked it.
Okay.
I chuckled.
Happy for you.
But yeah, they start running. They get Wesley out of there. Good thing fucking cop can't run like the T-1000. Because they'd be fucked.
Yeah, they'd be extra fucked.
Cop radios into somebody.
Calls, yeah.
I don't know who the fuck zombie cops are radioing into anybody.
Well, we do find out later exactly who he's radioing.
His captain.
Exactly. The guy who is necromantically controlling him. Yeah. That's who. Anyway, he says, we have loose ends. There are witnesses. So, Gunn and Wesley and the guys fuck off, and they get behind a dumpster a few blocks away or something. Lay down Wesley and put pressure on the wound, call 911 for an ambulance, but not for the cops. Duh.
Right.
Because the one that's freaking out is like, man, we ain't gonna call the cops. The cops just fucking did this to us. It's like for a fucking ambulance, dipshit.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then Rondell actually is like, hey, tell them no sirens, because you know what? That's a good fucking idea.
Yes. As long as they actually listen, because they got protocol to follow.
No, if you call an ambulance and you request silent response, they will do that.
Interesting.
I had to do that at one of my jobs because of the sensitive nature of it. We didn't want to like freak people out with the ambulance coming to site.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's funny because I had a band director fall off of a ladder during a rehearsal outside for marching band one time, and they tried to request a silent response, and we got all like 15 volunteer firefighters, 2 fire trucks. The ambulance was dead last, of course. We got like 12 cops, all with their sirens blaring, and they wanted to keep it quiet, but that didn't happen. Anyway,
we cut to a police precinct, apparently the precinct where all the fucking dead cops are from, and it's quiet. One might say it's too quiet.
Yeah, Angel and Kate barge in, and they start telling this rando cop some they're asking him some pretty basic ass questions like, does your boss do things by the book? And gosh darn it, you'd think he was asking a prospective Supreme Court justice if he drank alcohol in high school. Because he goes from down-home folksy to psychopath in like 0.7 seconds. Specifically, Kate says, this captain of yours, he running things by the book? Officer says, I don't have to tell you who used to rule these streets, detective. The scumbags did. Hell, I was afraid to drive myself to work.
Can I just say?
No.
Giving a fucking actor an apple to eat while reading lines?
It really helps.
Instant asshole.
Right?
Like why is that? Like, what is it about eating an apple that just makes you come off as such a fucking dick?
I think
because like it's definitely not this dude's acting that pulls it off.
It's partially because it's rude to eat something while you're talking to somebody in a professional capacity.
Yeah, and apples are also kind of like crunchy, loud food.
Yeah,
so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and like juicy and dribbly,
right?
If you get the right one. Delicious.
If you get a good one.
Yeah, can't blame them, really.
What's your apple of choice, Josh?
A while ago I'd have said Granny Smith. It's still up there, but
Really?
I honestly don't know. Just anything that's nice and crisp.
Honey Crisp.
Okay, sure.
Honey Crisp apples for me, thank you.
That's nice. See,
Or Gala. Gala.
I don't like that question because it inevitably ends up with somebody judging me for my favorite kind of apple.
See, I don't
even have a good answer for.
Like liking Granny Smith apples boggles my mind a little bit, but I also don't like tart food.
Yeah.
And Granny Smith apples are very tart.
Yeah, see, I used to eat whole bags of sour gummies.
Yeah, I can't fucking do tart. Ugh.
Anyway,
they're cracking down. They've got some new rules going on.
Yeah, they're cleaning up the neighborhood.
Nothing problematic happening here.
Zero problematic
May as well
things.
just move right on.
Yep.
I was hoping for some demon fighting tonight, but I wound up with a delivery job instead. If I come back here on the end of a spatula, I'm expecting some serious workman's comp. I'm just messing with y'all.
Cut back to 45th Street, or somewhere near 45th Street,
where Wesley is getting worse.
He's bleeding a little bit. It's not that bad. It's gonna be fine.
I appreciate that they actually have like blood.
Oh right, yeah.
They actually have like. He's bleeding.
You can tell he's gushing.
Yeah, and like he has makeup on his face and everything. That he's going pale. He looks like shit.
Yeah, they did a good job of making us believe that he's losing a lot of blood.
Yeah.
But the ambulance shows up. I can't stop saying ambulance. Hey, Black Betty, ambulance. Anyway, do you remember that meme? The video. It's a video. But
I don't.
Oh, well, there was a guy on a bus who really deserved to get punched in the face. And then he's asking for an ambulance, but he keeps saying ambulance. I'm in an ambulance.
I recall that.
And then somebody...
Hank Green actually made a song about that.
And then somebody took the song Hey Black Betty, or, Hey Black Betty, and cut it together. Hey Black Betty, ambulance. And it fit really well.
Oh God.
It was probably really terrible. And
that is an old meme.
Makes me a terrible person.
That's an old meme.
That I thought it was funny.
We're old.
Yep. That's nice. Remind me some more. Thanks. I keep forgetting because of how old I am. So they get Wesley into the ambulance, and Gunn jumps in with him. Yeah. The other two guys fuck off, and they're going to meet them at the shelter.
Yep.
So as soon as the ambulance drives away, 2 cop cars block its way.
Yes.
Driver gets out to be like, hey, guys.
And the cops are like, oh, you're helping people. Fuck you.
Yeah. You got to move out of the way. Excuse me, we couldn't help but notice that we need to kill you with the Hellstrom of bullets. And they do.
Yes.
So that ambulance driver needs more medical attention now than Wesley does, ironically.
Yes.
Until he's dead. And in which case, he needs a mortician.
Yeah. So Gunn jumps into the driver's seat of the ambulance, and he guns it. Gunn guns the ambulance.
Are you saying ambulance now, too? I could have sworn you did.
Probably because you fucking stuck it in my head.
Gunn guns the ambulance. That is correct.
And then busts through a fence, which, let me tell you, one of those would definitely fucking do it.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Those things are built with power in mind.
Obligatory driving through a fence scene.
Yeah.
There's some barrels in the way just to make it a little more clunky.
My favorite part is the cliche, the cops like firing at it as it drives away.
Right.
Because like, guys... You have cars.
You have cars. Why wouldn't you just fucking...
You even have sirens.
Get in your cars.
You have cars designed to chase other vehicles even.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, they're zombies. They're not the smartest zombies in the world.
I mean, to be fair, they seem to be smarter than a lot of zombies.
They might be the smartest zombies in the world, but they're still...
In the end, they're still zombies.
And I was going to say, in the end, they're still cops.
I mean... Did you know that
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Some police will not allow you to be cops if you're too smart?
I did know that.
I was going to be a cop once, back in my dumb days.
This is how well I know you, Rex. I felt this story coming on the second you said, did you? And there it is.
We have known each other for quite a
He's going to tell
while.
the story about how he was going to be a cop and how they only let stupid people onto the force. Yep. There it is.
Granted, I'm not making the claim that I was too smart to be a cop. I just decided to not even pursue it past like the first semester of law enforcement, just because getting just one semester in was enough to be like, no, this is just an awful fucking career, and why would you want to do this to people?
Oh my, no. Yes. Good call.
Yeah.
Congratulations on having a conscience.
Right?
You have half a Jiminy Cricket in your pants. I'm not sure why only half and why he's in your pants, but
I mean,
it's better than nothing.
No comment.
Back to the teen shelter where where Gunn drives the ambulance to the teen shelter and stops there for some reason.
Yeah.
And they warn Anne that the cops aren't human.
Okay, I have some qualms with Gunn here.
Do you?
Yeah, because his entire fucking plan here is absolutely stupid.
Absolutely asinine.
First, he leaves the ambulance parked out front.
Yeah.
The cops are patrolling the neighborhood. They're probably going to see the ambulance.
You know, it was high blood pressure. Nobody's thinking straight.
And then on top of that, hey, we're being chased by zombie cops. Let's go to the building with all the children.
Come on, Rex. Somebody thought of the children. Isn't that all you wanted? Won't somebody think of the children?
Not in this instance.
I believe the children are our future.
So maybe don't feed them to zombie cops.
Teach them well and feed them to the zombie cops. So they're inside. And the cop pulls up outside immediately. And he's all like, all passengers are on board, sir. And we see the police captain who's listening. And he says, the cop again says, we have full containment. The captain says, wait for backup. Secure the entire section. Clean house. Like, oh no, they're going to murder all the children and feed them to the zombie cops. You're welcome. Back inside, this worthless fucking EMT doesn't even apply pressure to the wound.
Right?
Until Cordy asks him what she can do to help. Yeah. He should have already, like, wrapped it with something. I mean,
a pressure bandage on it.
I'm no doctor. Yeah.
Fuck, I'm trained in emergency first aid, for fuck's sake. I could have at least responded to it better than he was doing.
Yeah, I would have, like, put an ace bandage on it or something. Even though I know those aren't meant to be absorbent, they're meant to be supportive. But still,
you put a fucking pressure bandage on is what you do.
Yeah.
It's a bandage designed to, like, adhere to the flesh around the wound and applies its own pressure.
Oh, neat.
And it can absorb a lot of blood.
Splendid.
But, like...
Well, he doesn't do that.
Also, though, like, why have they not given him any blood?
Well, you know, I mean, he was panicked. He just lost his EMT friend. Nobody's really paying attention here. So meanwhile, he's just holding Wesley's head upright like a fucking
and holding a saline bag.
Yeah, that's what he needs. Oh, you're a little dehydrated. Yeah. I wonder why.
I mean, yeah. he is dehydrated. But he's also probably experiencing some iron deficiency as well.
Just a bit. And Gunn gets in an argument with the all-too-relaxed Jackson, who ain't afraid of no racist pigs or a white man dying on the couch. He really seems to be serving as nothing more than a soapbox for Gunn to yell about how he has to make up for all the black people out there perpetuating the cycle, as he calls it. And I mean, I think systemic racism is the real cycle here. Yeah. But sure, let's blame all the victims of society while we're at it. So they decide suddenly that Wesley has internal bleeding, Rex.
Yeah.
Internal bleeding. And that he must get to a hospital now.
If only they had thought about that earlier.
Fucking internal bleeding, everybody. Think about that for just a moment. Because of a gunshot wound. Well, they better put in for a business license and a name change here at the Ye Olde East Hills Teen Shelter, because Welcome to the Plot Hole Emporium. Have you ever decided you want to stop off for a slushie and say hi to an old pal while your best friend and colleague bleeds out in an ambulance? Well, boy, howdy, have we got the solution for you. The days of patiently waiting to give your medical emergency the attention it deserves is a thing of the past. Down here at the Plot Hole Emporium, just take our patented advice and walk him right on inside with you. He can bleed out on the couch for a moment or two with reckless disregard for that old sofa, and frankly, and didn't like it anyway. Not only will you get that American as apple pie effect of instant gratification, but now you get to have your final standoff somewhere besides the hospital. It's win-win. So stick some pigs in Wesley's stomach hole, because that's where we're hiding your plot.
My favorite part was "and didn't like that couch anyway."
Subversion. That's how that worked.
I liked it. Oh, that felt good.
With reckless disregard for that old sofa.
Yeah.
Thought I was going to say Wesley, didn't you?
You go so fast with that, I don't have any way of anticipating shit.
That's part of the bit.
Yeah. Anyway, Cordy's like, no, we are taking Wesley to the fucking hospital because she's being reasonable, except that, hey, the cops are already outside and the place is surrounded.
Yeah.
Well, too late now there, buddy.
They're here. And the kids start barricading doors and windows, and the zombie cops start marching.
Yep.
Cut to the boss guy at the precinct.
Yeah, I guess it's at the precinct.
Where Angel gets the boss a coffee. Except it's not really so much a coffee, so much as a foot up the ass.
Well, he comes in, he starts talking to the captain, and the captain's like, who the fuck are you? Why the fuck are you here? And he's like, I'm the fucking Angel, and I'm gonna fucking be an asshole.
Excuse me.
And the captain's like, okay, well, I'm gonna shoot you then.
I would like to play with these things on your desk, and I'm going to do that whether you like it or not. You are not the boss of me. You are the boss of some zombie cops. No.
Yeah.
And a lot of back and forth here. So
yeah.
Back to the teen shelter. They're still barricading. Gunn barks some orders. Cordelia tries calling for help while the cop breaks the bars. While the cops are breaking the bars off the windows and beating down the door.
I liked Cordy's line here. Because she's on the phone and it's like, all circuits are busy, and she's like, this is no time for circuits busy. Don't tell me circuits are busy. Get some new circuits now.
Yeah, we've all been there.
And I appreciate any moment where somebody is so panicked that they're yelling at a recording.
Yes, they're experiencing tech rage.
Yeah.
At the least convenient time.
I have never, ever once in my life ever experienced tech rage, just so you know. Never.
Welcome to Opposite Day on Ale with Angel, everybody.
It's never happened. No, not once in my entire life have I ever experienced tech rage.
Yeah,
ever.
Me either, Rex. Never in a million years, except for when I did.
Except for when I used to buy keyboards in bulk. I did that once.
I've heard. They told me when I went to the store. They said, no, Rex bought them all. Sorry. I was like, I just need one. They were like, well, should have thought of that before you were friends with Rex.
Oh, I legitimately bought a box of 20 once.
And then they sold another guy a keyboard, and they were like, well, he's not friends with Rex. I was like, shit, I really fucked this up.
Judging by your uncomfortableness, I would say you're either about to ask me out on a date or you need a favor. Well, see, the thing about detectives is they have resumes and business licenses and last names. Pop stars and popes, those are the one-name guys.
Cut back to the captain and Angel. Yeah, so he shot Angel. Angel vamped out. He picked the captain up and is choking him. Somehow the captain gets free?
Yeah,
like
even though he's lifted up off the floor by his throat.
Yeah, and
that's
he
the
gets
easiest
free.
chokehold to break.
Yeah, he gets free, jukes around Angel somehow, and then goes into a hidden door.
Yeah, he's pretty squirrely for a fat old guy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Seriously. I mean...
And he's got a fucking panic hatch behind his filing cabinet. I want that guy's office.
Right?
Damn.
My dream...
Get him and the entrails out of there first, but...
My dream is to just own a house that has a fucking hidden door. Like I
want a house with a series of hidden passageways.
Oh yeah.
And a vault system like the fucking Addams Family.
I mean,
okay, maybe not quite that elaborate, but close.
We'll never be that rich.
I know, right? Amusement park style. I can afford some random chains that you can pull and a slide that goes into a basement. Okay.
Okay. I think the closest to amusement park style that you're going to get is the penny horse at Meyer.
No. Like I just said, a chain that opens a hatch and a slide that goes into the basement. And maybe some Scrooge McDuck money to swim around in.
I would love to, like, have a house with a pool and then, like, set up a slide that's from, like, the attic.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that would...
Yeah, what could possibly go wrong?
Raccoons.
For
Raccoons
starters.
could go up the slide.
For starters.
I'd have to build a contraption to, like, close it off at the bottom.
Yeah, that's your biggest concern, huh? Raccoons.
I mean...
Is it because they're your pets and you keep them in the basement?
No.
Well, that's your first problem.
I've...
This is how you preemptively solve your raccoon problem, Rex, is you have pet raccoons.
I don't think I want pet raccoons.
Well, you're doing it wrong.
Anyway, on to the zombies breaking into the place.
Into the shelter. They start breaking through the windows.
Yes.
The teens are falling back while the adults, hard air quotes, ineffectively are whacking at them with found weapons.
Yes.
Anne gets her ankle caught by one of the groping hands of a cop, which again, how do we know these aren't just normal cops?
Well, this might be one of the few times in this episode where it is showing cops doing things that I don't think they would likely do.
Slightly more zombie-ish.
I mean...
raid a house? They do raids all the time. And sexually abuse women.
But the key is real cops would just be fucking shooting and not like
maybe
no guns.
Yeah. They did specifically get told to use no guns to keep the noise down. Sure.
I mean, for fuck's sake, real cops are told constantly not to shoot people.
Good point. Well, Cordelia saves Anne by hammering at the cop that's grabbing her ankle. Jackson tries to leave out the other door and immediately gets thumped by a cop. Gunn saves his ass, pushes the cop out, closes the door, and helps Jackson up. And they have this little moment of solidarity. And
what the fuck point is that?
Yeah, who fucking cares? It's not going to last.
Cut back to the precinct where the captain's in his ritual room. We see the walls are lined with pictures of dead cops and candles and everything.
Yes, welcome to the precinct secret totem zombie control room.
Yeah, that's just how it is sometimes.
Angel busts in. I called him Angel. Busts in and for some reason needs to ask, how are you controlling them?
And then he sees a little statue. He's like, oh, it's a zombie god.
Fucking look around.
Right?
It's a room full of shrines to dead people with candles. How do you think he's controlling them, Angel? But no, you gotta have a single totem that's controlling everything.
Can I just say, a hidden room that nobody knows about, filled with hundreds of lit candles, and no windows, no ventilation, totally not a fire hazard.
Seems like a good idea. On opposite day here at Ale with Angel. It does.
But yeah, so Angel's like, oh look, this totem, this must be it, and then hits the captain upside the head with it.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, he was not using the entrails to control them.
No.
I don't think. I think he just liked the entrails. But it was the totem.
Yeah.
It was the little magic piece of glass, not the biological body part pieces.
And just in time, all the zombies fall dead. Well, I guess they were already dead, but they're dead now.
Yeah.
They're less undead and more dead.
Slightly, yeah. They're green now.
Yeah, they turn green.
And shriveled.
And they stop moving.
They look like baby poop.
The key here is they stop moving.
They've got baby poop face.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And
nothing with baby poop face can be scary. That's a rule.
I remember reading that now. Yes. Angel said it was called the Idol of Graneth, the zombie god. I didn't bother to look up if that's a real thing. Chances usually are that it's not on this show. They make shit up all the time. But if it is, feel free to correct us. I know people love interacting with us when we're wrong, so
I'm perfectly fine with people pointing out that I'm wrong because, hey, fan interaction is fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something. That's exactly the right reason. Cut back to the shelter where all the zombie cops go down very shortly after Angel destroys this totem.
Probably almost suddenly, instantly, as he destroys the totem.
Yeah, less time than it took for the camera to cut over, probably.
Yeah.
And the cops get all shriveled and green on the floor. We kind of already covered that, didn't we? Anne is like, oh my God, the kids. Cordy and Gunn are like, oh my God, Wes. Wes really looked dead.
Yeah.
My brain switched over to Walking Dead rules for a minute. And I half expected Wesley to fucking turn. I was like, shit, you're going to have to stab him in the head, guys. How are we going to bring him back from that?
Yeah.
And Gunn asks Jackson for help, just moving Wesley out to the ambulance. But predictably, he fucks off because A, fuck Whitey, and B, yay, no more zombie cops. Time to go terrorize the streets some more again because pieces of shit gonna be pieces of shit, right? That's the moral we learned today, isn't it?
I guess.
Yeah, that's why the character was on the show, Jackson, right?
I don't fucking know why this character was here.
Yeah.
It was pointless.
Clear as mud. Clear as mud. I said, he served...
Clear as mud might be clearer than it was.
I really think the only thing they wanted him there for was to have that one little argument with Gunn when they first run into each other. That was all the mileage they got out of it. Other than that, he was a waste of fucking space and plot.
Also, not particularly well written, not particularly well acted. I didn't have any issues with the actor.
I thought he was a good actor, honestly. I believed him a hell of a lot more than I believed any of the kids that were trying to be all gangster, you know?
Well,
excuse me.
Yes.
I'm something of a gangster myself.
That's totally believable, Josh. Cut back to the precinct, or Kate's precinct specifically, where Angel comes in and tells Kate, hey, I stopped all those zombie cops, just so you know. I did it all on my own. Aren't you proud of me?
Yeah, you're welcome. I'll take my nominal fee now. No. Angel informs her the zombie cop problem is solved. She shittily and judgily recites the previous amount of crime from that area that they just gave back to the people in that community. Then she judges Angel even more directly for saying, I can live with that. And, never mind the complete horrific injustice that it took to quell those crime rates, especially when we know for a fact that more money and education and less cops is the solution to less crime, because poverty is the cause of crime, not just straight up bad people. Yeah.
Well, the cause of those kind of crimes.
That's the real moral of the story of this episode. But you're not really going to get it directly out of the episode. You have to listen to Ill with Angel to get that.
Watching an episode like this from the perspective of all the shit going on in the world today, like this is...
it's dated.
It's painfully dated.
It's painfully dated. So, whatever. Let's fuck off from all that noise. Some random asshat hands Kate a file. It's about Wesley.
Yeah, so will you cut to a happier place? A hospital where people are dying.
Yeah. Still technically not wrong. It is a slightly happier place.
It is. Well, you see, they have drugs here.
Hey!
We cut to Wesley waking up to find Gunn waiting by his bedside. This is a great character moment for these two. I fucking loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking loved it. Like, because...
These two totally bond right here.
Yeah, this is the moment where I feel that they actually have a friendship.
Yeah, it only took Wesley risking his life to save Gunn. Yeah. But yeah, Gunn was always really kind of a dick to Wesley before this.
Wesley's actions in this episode proved to Gunn that Wesley isn't a pompous airbag.
Yeah.
He's actually the genuinely good person that he seems to be.
Well, he can be a pompous airbag. Yeah, I mean, why not both? Why not both? Why not?
Right, but like he actually is a good guy who's trying to do good things. He just, in the end is British.
That's his main crime. Definitely.
But I got some quotes here. the exchange between the two. Gunn asks Wesley how he's feeling, and Wesley says, "I feel I should be in a great deal of pain." Gunn replies with, "A gunshot will usually do that to you." And then the quote here is Wesley says, "And yet," looks at his IV, "is this morphine? Well, it's bloody lovely."
Damn right. Which, by the way, don't abuse morphine. It will fuck you up. Only use it in a professional environment, everybody. It is an opiate, by the way, and it is highly addictive. So we're not trying to aggrandize opiates here, but I have heard from people that morphine can be quite fun. Switch to Angel's point of view from the hallway.
Yeah, he's lurking again.
He's a lurky boy. He turns around to fuck off, but Cordelia caught him. He's facing Cordelia now, and she tells him to fuck off.
Cordy's like, "Oh, I see you're fucking off. Well, you know what? You can continue to fuck off.
And when you get there...
fuck off some more. And keep fucking off till you get back here. And then when you get back here, fuck off again."
Fuck off again. Yeah, she literally tells him he walked away, and now he can do them all a fucking favor and stay away.
Yep. And it is perfectly 100% deserved.
She didn't pull any punches. He just kind of waddled away. More broody than usual.
Yeah.
Like this time, he wasn't just doing it for the looks. I could tell he was actually sad.
Yep.
Gerarg.
Is this for me? I must be ready. I need my strength. Give me more! Nights I shall walk in the earth. Hold on. You've got something in your eye.
How'd you feel about this episode, Josh?
Hey, wait, what about the kid with the demon eyeball?
We'll get there.
Well, for fuck's sake.
We'll get there.
Well, for Christ's sake. Okay, no, this episode, let's see. Yeah, dated.
Painfully.
And pretty one note.
Yep.
Definitely just a monster of the week. With a little bit of character development. Definitely huge moment, like you said, for Wesley and Gunn.
And at least that moment felt perfectly earned.
And also, we're definitely seeing a point in Angel's arc where he's coming down off of this streak that he's had, his lone wolf streak, where he needs to be the daddy figure, I know what's good for you, to his friends. And he might just start treating them like independent adults that they deserve to be treated as.
Fucking hope it happens soon, goddammit.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, although it's dated, I think it's surprisingly still relevant because we're still having lots of police brutality issues.
Yeah, well, like
the country is very divided, and systemic racism continues to be a huge problem.
My biggest problem with this episode is how everyone is responding to the cops doing this sort of policing, this very violent policing, as if it's this anomaly.
Right.
And it's like it hasn't been an anomaly for a very long time, pretty much our entire fucking lives.
Yeah.
And more so. So like,
I think we've just started to see it a whole lot more in our lifetimes because everybody's got a camera in their pocket.
Yeah. And I did somewhat find the humor in the moment where they're like, "Oh, we'll record them," and as if that was going to do fucking anything. Like, okay, yeah, they didn't know the cops were zombies. They just thought the cops were bastards.
Yeah.
But, like, we know way too well that recording the cops doing shitty things doesn't fucking do anything.
Yeah. It's like
or
trying
at least
to hold
it rarely does anything.
It's like trying to hold Trump responsible for literally anything.
Yeah. It's like
the system's too fucking rigged.
Yep. But like, I don't know, overall it was okay. It was an okay episode.
You know, I didn't really get off on it much.
It didn't have a ton of good lines. It didn't have any really great moments. We got that good moment with Wes and Gunn, but like it still wasn't as good as it could have been.
Yeah, I think the best we can say about this is probably that it's some light at the end of the tunnel, that we're getting out of that rut that the show was stuck in.
Maybe, yeah.
I think
Maybe.
for realsies, it's starting to get out of that rut.
I fucking hope.
I probably just jinxed the shit out of it.
Yeah. How dare you?
What's your quote of the day, Rex?
I think I'm just going to go with, is this morphine? Well, that's lovely.
Well, this is just lovely. That was a fun one.
I've never been in the hospital on drugs like that. So that's not an experience I've ever had where I'm all loopy from meds like that. So like, I don't know. It always fascinates me when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
I've never got to experience it. Not that I want to, mind you, but like, I've also never got to. So like, I always find that fun.
Fair enough.
What's your quote of the day?
Well, shout out, honorable mention to Cordy and Wes for their little vaudeville routine.
Yep.
With the, we can't, no, but we mustn't, but all right, let's work on our own project. All right, let's go save Gunn.
That was solid, like, physical acting from them in that moment.
And line delivery, everything about it. They were Johnny on the spot.
Yeah.
They gave it the money, and they made it work, and they made it funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I just rhymed that, and I didn't mean to. I apologize. But my real quote is still just going to have to go to Gunn's line, because we'll be the ones walking while black. Because that really was what the episode was about. It
really was.
If you don't think that there's systemic racism in the United States of America or the rest of the fucking white Western world, you're not paying attention. If you're white and you think you're not racist, you're not paying attention.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you have to feel bad about it. You just need to recognize it.
Yep.
Or if you think that there's a liberal agenda to push critical race theory in schools, you're wrong. Nobody's trying to make white people feel bad about something that they didn't do to several generations old black people. We're trying to educate, and also critical race theory is, there's, you know what?
Yeah, the idea of critical race theory is not what it is actually is not what the fucking media is portraying it as. Like, it's not.
You know what? I'm going to drop a couple links because we don't have time.
Yeah.
And we're not prepared to get into all of that. But it's propaganda. If you believe in all the critical race theory shit flying around right now, you're not paying attention. And that is the one good thing that we can get from the message that they were kind of sort of trying to go for, even though it felt like PC virtue signaling. Maybe we can still squeeze some good out of it.
Yeah.
And, do your research, help your fellow man.
We're so close. We gotta be close to a good Angel episode. We haven't had a good Angel episode in a long while. A very long while.
I mean, I still enjoyed the last one because it had Darla and Drusilla in it.
But that doesn't make it a good episode.
It wasn't great, but I'll take what I can get, and we're still getting good Buffy episodes intermingled with it. So, it's fine. It's gonna get better, right?
It ought to.
Right?
It ought to, right?
It has to. It couldn't not. What are we doing? Why are we watching this?
Why are we watching this?
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, Rex.
Okay.
I promise.
All right. I have to trust you.
All right. This has been another episode of Ale with Angel, everybody. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter @BeerWithBuffy. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Beer with Buffy Group. And if you'd like to buy some of our shit, although we don't literally have any horsecock dildos with the Beer with Buffy logo stamped on it, you can still peruse our store and imagine that they're in there. If you go to www.beerwithbuffy.com/shop. If you'd like to support us financially so that we can keep making dirty jokes, go to patreon.com/beerwithbuffy and buy our cat naming perk so that we can name your cat for you on an episode of Beer with Buffy or Ale with Angel, depending on how it works out. Don't forget to review us on iTunes, get yourself a free sticker, and enter yourself into the famous review drive that enables you to possibly win a free hoodie. Next one is when we get to 75 reviews, all you have to do is write an actual written review and keep yourself a screenshot so that we know that it was actually you that wrote it, because I think that proves something, probably.
Well, it's screenshot typing the review before you submit it.
You can always open it up again after you've written it, though.
Oh, yeah. But, like, actually seeing the text box where you can type in it.
Exactly, which somebody else should not be able to access, is the point.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always email us at beerwithbuffy@gmail.com, or you can leave us a voicemail or a text at 269-743-0783. Lastly, but not leastly, big shout out to JJ Treadway for all of our opening, closing, and transitional music. This has been Ale with Angel. I'm Josh.
And I'm Rex. Have a good night. Keanu Speed, Josh.
Reeves be with you.
Whoa.
You are the slayer. Lives depend upon you. I make allowances for your years, but I expect a certain amount of responsibility, and instead of which you enslave yourself to this cult.
You don't like the color?
You have a sacred birthright. You were chosen to destroy vampires, not to wave pom-poms at people.
Why can't you people just leave me alone?
You are the slayer.
Go ahead.
I'm a watcher. I haven't the skill.
Oh, come on.
By appealing to your common sense. Succubi. Everything you've ever dreaded was under your bed, but told yourself couldn't be by the light of day.
One girl in all the world.
Common sense.
One girl in all the world.
It was a bit, British, wasn't it?
Whee!
Wait, what have we done? Why are we watching this?